Friday, TGIF, happy Friday. I am really tired, you guys. I feel like, I don't know, I had some of my husband's coffee this morning. I don't really drink coffee, and whew, it got me. I had like the jitters, and now I'm crashing. All right, enough about me. Welcome. I'm Alexandra, founder of Life with Herpes. I'm excited to be going live with you today. So thank you. I have full of gratitude that you are with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are new to Life with Herpes, this is your opportunity to ask your questions. I was diagnosed with HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2011. So I have been living with herpes for over 2 decades and living with it. So while you guys are joining, I'm gonna tap the screen just to say thank you for the people that are here. And I appreciate you spending your time with me. As you know, if you've been live with me before, you know that I get hundreds of questions. I do my best to go through them in the order in which they are received. Sometimes the app, just puts them out randomly, or so I've been told. Also, need to keep everything rated G. So even PG can be a little tricky, and the app sometimes does not appreciate that, and it may block your questions. Also, with that being said, if you have herpes, this is your place to be. If you have a friend that has herpes, if you have a lover that has herpes, you have a child that has herpes, you have a sister, a brother, a cousin, or somebody that you care about, please forward this information to them. And that is why I'm doing this. I've been public about my diagnosis since, I don't know what's going on here, since 2017. I opened up my life talking about what it was like to date, what it was like to be diagnosed, what it was like to, I'm married, what it was like to become a mommy, what it's like to have herpes as a mom, what it was like to be pregnant, all of that stuff. So, definitely share this information with somebody that needs to hear it, because that's why I'm doing it. All right, let me get right to the questions. Hi, OMG, hi. Did you have to change your diet despite taking supplements? All right, I love this question. So the short answer is yes, but there's a longer answer to that. Did I change my diet? So think back, I was 28, I was in my 20s when I was diagnosed, and now I'm in my 40s. So there's a huge difference in where you are in your 20s and where you are in your 40s, right? Think back to when I was diagnosed, I was doing Taco Tuesdays, Wine Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays. I was doing happy hours, I was out, I was working long hours, I was kind of starving student type of mindset. So I tried to eat healthy, but would do the best I could do. So I was very just different in the way that I ate, even though I thought I was being healthy. So yes, I have changed like night and day since then, even though I thought I was being healthy then. Some things that I do now that I no longer do, I definitely have cut back alcohol big time. I no longer drink every single day. I used to have a glass of wine every single, 2 glasses of wine every single night. I no longer have gluten. I'm careful about my dairy. I definitely cut out sugar. Sugar is I'll have a piece of cake, on my birthday, or if I make cake, I'll have a piece and then I'm done. So I'm very careful about all of those things that I intake. I do my best to eat everything that is a whole food. I eat things in their natural state. I don't buy things that are processed. If I cook with flour, I make my own flour. I grind my own flour. So I have really changed. My husband thinks I'm a homesteader. I would love to live on a farm and have a cow and drink raw milk. But that's where I'm at. Speaking of supplements, for those of you that are like, what are we talking about supplements? For those of you that just joined, the question was, have I changed since being diagnosed with herpes? Have I changed my diet? The answer is yes, but I've had herpes for such a long time that I've also evolved. So I can't necessarily contribute herpes to it. However, it was a major shift. It was that get it together, Alexandra. You don't want to be having outbreaks, and so you need to get it together. So no more Wine Wednesdays, no more showing up to work hungover, all of that stuff. All right, so things that I take daily are, I take lysine. It's an essential amino acid. It's a protein that I take daily. Okay, this is the non-negotiable for me personally. It helps with my prodrome, and it helps with, I think, keep outbreaks at bay. I then also take monolaurin, which is what we have as humans in what mommies have in their breast milk, and it helps support the baby dealing with bacteria or viruses. And this disrupts the outer shell of an enveloped virus. And the HSV virus is an enveloped virus, which means that our immune system cannot penetrate the virus. It has a shell. So this helps disrupt that cell and any other cells that we have that are enveloped by, or any other enveloped viruses that we have, it helps fight that. And then lastly, I take angiographism, which is extremely potent when dealing with the HSV virus. I also take this daily. So these are the supplements I take that support my natural, or just support my clean living, my healthy living. I'm very cautious at supporting supplements. And so this is the only thing I will promote. They're all linked for you in the bio, so you can check them out. All right, I had so many questions come in, and I am like, whew, how do I catch up? So if you have HSV1, is it more than likely you will get HSV2 later on? No. So what's interesting is most people that have one type or the other, so if they have, in your case, you're saying HSV1, you're less likely to pick up another type of herpes, because typically your immune system recognizes the viral DNA that comes in and goes, oh, I know what this is, it's herpes, I already have it, let's send the antibodies out. Let's send those fighter T cells out, right? You can get both types. I have both types. And the reason why you can get both types is because the viral DNA is different, right? And if your immune system is shot, if you're not taking care of your body, if you have other infections going on, whatever, then yes, your body can pick that up. So I got both at a time. I had reoccurring yeast infections, I had reoccurring BV, I had reoccurring UTIs. I wasn't taking care of my body, so I got both. When my friend got diagnosed with it, the doctor told my friend to calm down. It's absolutely nothing. That's absolutely accurate. And I love that the doctor said this, because it is something that is so common. And really the part that is difficult is the stigma. That's the issue. And all the stigma is a story that I've told, that you've told, that we've all told, and we all believe. So no more monster under the bed, herpes story. It's a time for us to rewrite our own story. You were diagnosed with herpes 2 years ago. You only took the pills twice. That's awesome. That's great that you've only had to take the antivirals twice. That's great. How could you not spread it if asymptomatic and don't know? How could you? Okay, so you can still spread herpes being asymptomatic. So the majority of the population with herpes are asymptomatic. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I just saw it. Majority of the people that are asymptomatic, meaning they don't show symptoms of herpes. We have this thing called viral shedding. Viruses shed. We learned a lot about viral shedding in 2020. Viruses shed, and when they shed, we're still contagious, unfortunately. So that's how the most transmissions occur. Most people don't know they have it. They may have mild outbreaks and go, oh, that was just, I nicked myself shaving. Oh, that was just my underwear that nipped me. That was just a bug bite. That was just whatever. And so we can still, unfortunately, transmit it. Does it get less riskier to transmit the virus? That's a really tough question, because each individual is going to be very different. However, from what I've read, it's saying that the longer you have the virus, the less likely you are to have outbreaks. So obviously when you have an outbreak, you are far more contagious, right? It's active viral DNA, you have a blister there. So you could assume that yes, if you have less outbreaks, the longer you have herpes, the less outbreaks you have, which means that you would be less contagious. One of the things can you talk more about shedding HSV? I just talked about shedding. Do you have more questions on that? Let me know. One of the things I'm most scared about is not being able to have kids or passing it on. Okay, so I'm a mommy. I have a little boy, he's 3. He does not have herpes. I had a vaginal delivery. Here's the thing about becoming a mommy if you have herpes. Talk to your doctor. Get on the same page as your doctor. Find out what you and your doctor want to do together, and also talk to your partner. So the 3 of you need to be on the same page as far as this delivery. While the baby's in your tummy or your uterus or whatever you want to say, he or she is safe, right? It's not going to be transmitted through the umbilical cord. It's not going to be in the amniotic fluid. It's not going to be in anything like that. What it does is, what the risky part is during the delivery that you would have an outbreak. So there are options. You can have a C-section if you feel more comfortable with that, or you can talk to your doctor and get a plan together like I did, and I took the antiviral about a month prior to my delivery. You've had your first outbreak in early October, but I got another one at the end of the month. Unfortunately, that is normal. When I got diagnosed with HSV-2 in 2011, I had back-to-back outbreaks. Like it never stopped is what it felt like. Some things that I did naturally was I started getting acupuncture. I started cleaning up my diet. I did not know about supplements then. I did not know, there were no wellness products out. You know, I've created a lot of wellness products that took over a year to formulate. We do have some new products coming out. I'm like dropping this. I wasn't going to drop it, but we do have new products coming out, so I'm excited. But we created these and formulated them. They're natural. They're all natural. And what they can do is they can basically help you with the pain. They help with wound repair. They help soothe the skin. This one is your favorite. This is the one that you guys, it sells out almost every month. I think we're actually sold out right now. I think. But it smells good, feels good on your skin. It adds a nice little tingle. But these are some products we have, so you can feel free to check them out in my bio, the Secret Society Wellness Products. They are made specifically for people living with herpes. How did I get herpes? So HSV-1, I went on a date, and when I was 20 years old, it was over Christmas break. I was home from college, went on a date, and my date had an active cold sore, and he kissed me. And so that's how I got oral herpes. HSV-2, I dated somebody, and he was asymptomatic. He did not know that he had herpes. So there we go. Have you tried cures such as liquid fasting or herbal teas? So I have not. There's people that I know that have. There's people that I know that have done that and they have tested negative. However, the virus at this point, we cannot rid ourselves of viruses. So it is still going to be there. For me, I'm not into fasting. I'm not into liquid diets. I love food. I love cooking, and that's an important part of my life. So I'm okay having a positive status in like testing positive for herpes as long as I don't get outbreaks, right? So if I can figure out how to keep my body in a healthy state so my outbreaks are dormant, that's what matters to me. Herpes isn't every day like a chill. No, you shouldn't have chills every day or feel sick every day. Do you take all three of the supplements? I do. So I take the Angiographis, I take the monolaurin, and I take the lysine daily. Let's see if I can do this. Nope. And I take the lysine daily. But this is what I take. If you have questions, please talk to your doctor. These are supplements. These are not prescription. And this is what I take under supervision of my naturopath. So this is something that she has recommended specifically for me as well. But in doing my own research, I'm a huge advocate in finding things that can help us. So if this helps me, I definitely want to let you know what helps me so that you can help yourself as well. I hear you can heal herpes with plants. God said that in the Bible, herbs are for healing of the nation. I completely agree with you. That's why I take supplements. I completely agree with you that there are natural ways to heal your body. Absolutely. But right now there is no actual quote unquote cure for herpes. Cinnamon essential oil. Thank me later. All right. Thank you. Do you put it topically or do you take it orally? You've been having symptoms for a month. Now you don't know what to do. Symptoms of like the prodrome symptoms, like you feel like you have the tingles and itches and things like that. I would, number one, figure out a way that works for you to calm your nervous system. So is it grounding? Is it walking barefoot outside in the grass? Is it meditating? Is it doing breath work? Is it practicing gratitude? Those are some things just naturally do you have an animal? Can you hold your pet? Those are some things that I'm going to be introducing are tapping that also calms your nervous system, lowers your cortisol levels. This is something that I swear by and think that it is absolutely amazing. Another thing you could do is you could add a recovery soak to your daily regime. This is 3 soaks in this, by the way, but Epsom salts, and there's also some ingredients in here that can help chill you out. And Epsom salts also calm your nervous system. The salts, I personally think, help with the itch and the tingle. I know when I take the bath, I leave there like, whew, that was great. So these are all some ways to help with that naturally. As far as if you want to take the antiviral, talk to your doctor. That's something that you can take that can help with the prodrome symptoms. And then I'm big on lysine. I'm going to go back to lysine. Everything I talked about is linked for you. The products, the supplements, it's all linked right there for you. Hey, if you were just diagnosed, I saw someone on here that's like, hey, I was just newly diagnosed in October or brand new to herpes. I have an ebook. It's free. It's 21 pages. I've been adding to it since 2007 and it continues to grow. I just redid it this last summer. I think it's beautiful. It's linked. It's free. Go to outbreakremedies.com or you can click the link in the bio. It walks you through, like I said, it's free. It walks you through what to do when you're diagnosed. It also talks about some natural products. It talks about prodrome. It talks about diet. It talks about having a high lysine diet versus a high arginine diet. What's the difference? Anyways, like I said, it's all there for you. So check it out. It's linked. Check it out. You were dormant for 2 years, but then recently have had multiple outbreaks. Could it go back to dormant? Absolutely. Remember, our immune systems change. We change. Our lifestyle changes. I've been in your situation as well, where you're like, I haven't had an outbreak in years, and then all of a sudden you're like back to back to back to back to back. Maybe look at some things that are going on in your life. Are you hectic? Are you stressed? Some of the most stressful things that we don't realize that are happening, maybe you're moving, maybe you've had a loss of a loved one, things like there's a lot going on in the world right now. Clearly, it is so troubling to me to see. I turn on the news every night. It is very troubling to see. So there's a lot going on. The antiviral doesn't harm the baby. So I can't answer that question from I don't have the education or understanding of medication in the body to be able to answer that. According to doctors, according to what is recommended, they suggest taking the antiviral while pregnant. So what I did when I was pregnant, I did not take the antiviral until the last month. So I felt, or maybe last couple weeks, maybe like 2 weeks prior to my delivery, and that was just my personal thought. Is I felt like, hey, you can't eat a turkey sandwich, so why would I take an antiviral? And I can see where you're thinking. Again, you'll just have to decide. If you are pregnant, you'll decide what's right for you right now. When you do get pregnant, you can decide what feels right for you. I have both types. I have type 1 and type 2. You said the stigma is awful, makes trying to find someone is hard. Okay, so here's the thing on that. I'm going to call you out on that. And the reason why, and I'm doing it with a full heart, and the reason why I am calling you out on that is because you believe it's hard. So if you believe it's hard to date, if you believe it's hard to find somebody with herpes, then you bet your bottom dollar it's going to be hard. It's all in mindset, 1000%. I was, before having herpes, I was like, oh, dating's hard, it sucks, it's awful, it's da-da-da-da-da-da. And you know what? It did. It was hard. I couldn't find it. I was lonely. I was whatever. I was just dating whoever. I wasn't being true to myself. So when you get rid of that belief system that's rooted in you about dating is hard and look at it, the glass half full instead of half empty, and say, wow, this is an exciting time in my life. I get to go out and I get to pick who I want to date. I get to pick who Mr. Right or Mrs. Right is, right? I get to go pick that. I have been given this opportunity to go explore and go learn who I am. So when we look at it as a benefit and look at it as something that is going to be exciting, it will become exciting and it will become fun and it will not be hard. But I know where you're at. There's something deeply rooted in our belief system that makes these things hard. So, for example, if we believe that there is an issue with love, like maybe we believe that love is conditional. So maybe we were raised in a household where you were praised based on your accomplishments. Like, oh, you got good grades, we love you. Oh, you followed the rules, we love you. Oh, you were, I'm a girl, so like, oh, you were a sweet little girl, or oh, you were a nice little boy, or whatever you want to say, right? And so if you've been living in a conditional, loving relationship, that might be your root issue on why finding somebody is hard. Maybe you feel like you're having to transform, or maybe you feel like you're having to change who you are for each person. Maybe you're feeling like love is conditional. And so when you go out and disclose and you feel like you're letting that person down because you are telling them, I have sinned, I have done something wrong, that then that person, that you're looking for conditional love. So when we can switch that mindset, this is what we talked about at the Life with Herpes retreat last September. We had people here at my house. It was awesome, and like so many great breakthroughs, is when you start to unwind that belief system and realize like, wow, I'm doing myself harm by believing this. I'm doing myself harm by believing love is conditional, or by believing dating is hard. And that is a disservice to myself and a disservice to a future person, a future partner. So I'm sorry that this came off really harsh, but I'm very passionate in changing our verbiage and changing our mindset. Our words are so powerful, and our words are what speak our truth. So if we can change our tone and change our mindset and begin to speak that and speak that and speak that, that's where the change will happen. When I was diagnosed in 2011, I didn't love myself at all. There was no love in my body. I was angry. I was pissed off. Did not like the opposite sex. I didn't like men. I didn't trust men, all of that. And I realized I had to change that, because if I believed that, then I was going to continue to make dating hard. And so I decided to make the change. I had to love myself first. I had to fill myself up first. And if I could fill myself up with love, then I would just like, love would come out of my body, right? I would shine love. I'd be a Care Bear. And so these were things that I started to do. I started to daily tell myself, I would wear pink. I would daily tell myself, like, you are beautiful. I love you, all these things. And then that's what started my transformation. So that was a long rant. I really hope that that helped everybody here listening about our belief system when it comes to herpes, when it comes to our belief system on dating, and most importantly, our belief system on being unlovable, because that is what it is. We believe that we're unlovable when we're diagnosed with herpes. Okay. Were you having outbreaks during your pregnancy? Because I feel like the worst since I've been pregnant. Yes, I started getting, like, each trimester they got more. My last try I had tons of outbreaks, unfortunately. Just your body's under so much stress. I love what Savannah said. The stigma is bad, but someone who cares about you will be willing to educate themselves. Absolutely. When somebody loves you, they will love you unconditionally, and they will not care that you have herpes. Does honey work? So Manuka honey is extremely powerful. I have personally tried it. It does wonders. Do you have really bad itching with herpes, or is it just a tingle? I've had itching. I've had all the symptoms, and they're different every time. I've had itching, I've had tingles, and I've had the sore. Itching is like, it's like an itch you can't get. Like you like try to itch it and you just can't get it. Can you still take the antivirals even if you don't have an outbreak, just so to help lie dormant? So that would be called taking the antivirals, a prophylactic. It has to be prescribed to you by your doctor, but yes, it is something that you can take daily. Typically it's 500 milligrams that would be prescribed, and that is something you can take. Guys, I just want to tap the screen to say thank you. I see the shares. Thank you. Thank you for the follows. I've seen the follows. I've seen the shares. If you know someone that needs to hear this, if you have a friend that has herpes, if you have herpes, whatever it is, please share this information. Like I said, I am talking publicly about my diagnosis, and I am here to support people living with herpes. That is my mission. That is why I am here. That's why I'm speaking about it. I recently went back to school. I got my master's in theology. I am an ordained minister. If faith-based help is something that you're looking for as well, I offer that as well. So we have our community. It is called the Secret Society. It is our online community. We meet 8 times a month on a live. We have 8 lives a month. It is a community that is active, chatty. People from all over the world, all different ages are in that group. If you're interested in joining the herpes support group, or it's Secret Society, but AKA the herpes support group, it is linked for you. It is such a beautiful group. Like, I really wish I had it when I was first diagnosed. All right, back to questions. Do you have to tell someone you have it when it comes to a one-night stand or a hookup? I would say in my thought process, absolutely. It's just the moral correct thing to do, and put your shoe on the other foot, right? Like, that's why most of us have it, is somewhere along the line, whether our partner had a one-night stand or whatever, we had a one-night stand, whatever, someone didn't disclose, and so that's why we have herpes, right? Like, I truly believe that the reason why I have herpes is because my ex-boyfriend, one of his partners, didn't have the courage to call him and tell him. So that's why I have it, right? How do you know when an outbreak is really over? For me, it's when I can't feel it, and if I touch it, I can't feel it. So that's for me personally. The CDC or a WebMD, a doctor would say a week post sensations, but it's gonna be really up to you. Do you have to disclose? Sorry, I'm just reading all the questions. Do you have to disclose? Do you have to disclose if it's never reoccurring? So basically, if you're asymptomatic, yes, I would say, because you can still transmit it. How do you know when you have an outbreak? You would have tingles, you would have sensation. It's almost like a raw sensation. It's a painful nerve sensation. A guy you're dating just told you he gets cold sores on his lip once a year. Should you be nervous? Isn't there a way to prevent that from happening? Should you be nervous? I mean, most people have herpes and most people get cold sores. So I would say no, absolutely not. But can you pick it up? Yes. Can you get it from kissing your boyfriend? Absolutely. But can you also get it from the next person you date? Yes. 2 out of 3 people have herpes, and so it's extremely, extremely common. If you've never been tested for herpes, you may have it yourself. You may have it and not know. All right, guys, I think I have gone through all the questions. The supplements I talked about are lysine, monolaurin, and arginine. They are all linked for you in the bio. They're all up there, you guys. Check them out. And then everything I talked about is linked for you. Supplements, products. If you are newly diagnosed, I see a lot of, hey, I just got herpes. If you're newly diagnosed, outbreakremedies.com or a link in the bio. 21-page free ebook for you to download where it talks about high lysine foods, talks about what herpes is, talks about ways to naturally also help with outbreaks, help ease the pain, things like that. How common is herpes? 2 out of 3 people have HSV1 and 1 out of 6 have HSV2. So it's extremely common, and there's millions of people living with herpes. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for spending your time with me. And I'm just going to tap it out to thank you. I'm going to tap the screen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best. Definitely keep asking your questions. Keep joining me. Please share my information with people that need to hear this information. That's why I am here. That's why I'm sharing my journey. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.